Hi, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be chatting about all my credit cards, so all 6 of them, and how I use them to maximize points. So currently all my credit cards are between 2 banks. So the first one is Chase and the second one is Capital One, and that is because I believe those 2 banks have the best cards in terms of benefits and point structure. Let's start off with the Chase part of the family. So the first card that I'm going to talk about is the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, and that basically has no fee or no annual fee, 1.5% cash back, 5% on Lyft. And the reason that I have this card is for this business, which is YouTube. And fun fact, you don't actually need a business card to set up your business finances. Effectively, you just need a credit card that is separate and distinctively for the business in terms of if you have a sole proprietorship, but it is useful if you want to build a business credit, so that's why I got the card. Another alternative to this card is the Business Cash, and it affords 5% cash back at office supplies, on the internet, cable and phone, and then 2% on gas and restaurants. And the reason I didn't get this card is because in a few you're going to see I already get 2% back on anything with my other card, and I personally don't go to office supply stores. I do have internet, but it's relatively affordable, so I don't know that I need a card specifically just to get points for that. And then I don't use cable, and then my phone plan requires, or doesn't require, but it charges you a fee to use a credit card, so I basically just pay that card from my checking account. So personally, I don't think it's worthwhile for me, but it might be worthwhile for anybody else who's looking for a business card with no fees. Next up in the Chase line is the Freedom Unlimited card, and that is another 1.5% cashback card. Also, it has no fees, of course, and then it has an additional 3% on dining, 3% on drugstore purchases, and then 5% if you buy something through the Chase travel portal, and then, like I mentioned, the 1.5% on everything else. And looking at all my cards just now, I've decided that this card I'm going to change to the Freedom Flex version, which is 5% cash back on quarterly rotating categories. So basically these categories change to month, and I'll put a screenshot of what they have been historically and what they are currently. So if you have already a Freedom Unlimited card or something in the Unlimited department, I believe they have 3 cards. You can like change your card from one card to another by like making a phone call. So I plan to do that like effectively after I'm finished filming this. The final card that I have from Chase is my favorite card from Chase, which is the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and that is because it is a travel card and I'm always traveling. So that affords 3% or 3x points. So the other cards are cashback cards, so they work in percentages, and then this is a travel card, so it works in points. However, as you will see, you can transfer the points or cash back between cards. So what I do for the 2 previous cards that I mentioned, I transfer the cash back or points that I earn from those cards onto the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then do my travel spending from there. But back to the Chase Sapphire Reserve. Other point redemptions are 5% or 5x back on flights if you purchase through Chase, 10x on Chase Dine-In, 10x on Chase Hotels, and then 1% on everything else. Of course, since it's a travel card, it does not have any travel or international transaction fees, which can go up to 3%, I've heard, but I think on my other cards and on my other non-travel debit cards it's 1%, but everything adds up, so it's definitely useful to have a no transaction or no international transaction card for sure. Other benefits that I personally utilize are the airport lounge access, which comes in really well when you're traveling around the world. Not so much locally, because the only lounge at the airport that I normally fly out of is a Delta lounge, and to get into a Delta lounge you need like an American Express Express Platinum card, or you need some sort of Delta high tier card, or you need to have bought like a business class ticket. So it's not useful as much domestically, but when you're flying internationally, I have found that it's very useful. I'm always like in the lounges, like if I have the time. Another benefit is that you get TSA pre-check or / global entry, and then you also can get Nexus. That's the one for Canada. And then additionally, the fee, there is a fee with most of these travel cards, is $550. However, you do get a $300 travel credit, so that effectively brings the annual fee down to $250 per year. Now we're gonna move on to the Capital One side of things. So first card we're gonna chat about, as it's related to the Chase Sapphire Reserve. In fact, it's like the twin of it, is the Venture X card. And that is 2x points on everything. Additionally, you get 10x points on hotels and car rentals if you book through Capital One, as well as 5x on flights and hotels through Capital One. The annual fee for this card is $395, and that is offset by a $300 travel credit again. So the effective annual fee is $95. And then additionally, you get 10K bonus points every anniversary year. And then of course you get free TSA pre-check and global entry, but unlike the Chase, it doesn't offer the Nexus pass. And then you get the airport lounge access as well, and if you happen to be in a local airport that has a Capital One lounge, you have access to that as well. And then of course it has like no foreign transaction fees. Next card from Capital One is the Savior one, and this is my newest card that I'm most excited about. So this one is a no annual fee card once again, and it has 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, streaming, and groceries. And I find it most useful for the entertainment, streaming, and groceries portion. I already, as you can see with the Chase Sapphire Reserve, get 3x on dining, so it's basically a duplicate. Additionally, with the Venture X, you get 5x points back on hotels and rental cars booked through Capital One Travel, and then 1% on everything else, and then of course no international transaction fees. Next card is the Quicksilver, and that is just a basic 1.5% cashback card. It has no annual fee, and then as with all Capital One cards, there is no foreign transaction fees. So all three of those cards can be used internationally, unlike with my Chase cards, I can only use the Sapphire Reserve internationally. So that is a perk for me. So I can get cash back like while I'm traveling as well, and other things besides travel. I wanted to mention this debit card that I have is not a credit card, clearly, but it is relevant and useful if you do travel. So this is going to be the Charles Schwab Investor Checking and the associated debit card. So this account is pretty nice, actually. It has no overdraft fees or monthly service fees, nor does it have foreign transaction fees. And then the best part about it is that you get unlimited ATM rebates worldwide, which comes in very handy. Like, I cannot tell you how crazy I'm sure you know, like the ATM fees nowadays are like ridiculous. So it's useful to be able to get that money back. And the reason I believe that they offer all these perks is because they want you to get a brokerage account with them. So as the name implies, it's an investor checking account, and as such you get a accompanying brokerage account from Charles Schwab. So if you want to start investing, you can kill two birds with one stone and get that account. Now we're just going to chat about how I maximize points with the cards and what I use them for effectively, or the cards that I use the most. So currently, for 3 times the points on travel and dining, I use the Chase Sapphire Reserve, and then for 3x on groceries and entertainment, I have the Savior One card from Capital One, and then for 2x on everything else, I have the Venture One. So effectively, I rarely, if ever, use my 1.5% cashback cards. I mostly use them them on various bills just to keep the transactions current so that they don't close the account. But yeah, these are the 3 cards that I use the most and are always in my wallet. So that's gonna be it for this video. Of course, let me know what cards you're using, if you think I could be better suited with some other cards, or if you have questions about anything I said in this video, leave some comments below and I will see you in the next one.